Now you got to wrap your head around that. We accustomed of knowing positivity as meaning good and negativity as meaning bad. But in the world of science, it's the opposite. And science is the blueprint of creation. To know. The pH scale is your real ma'at. That's ma'at. Ma'at represents balance. Well, the real balance is the pH scale. If you don't understand that, ma'at is worthless. What's the purpose of knowing ma'at if you don't know the pH scale? Nature is expressing ma'at. The balance. Why is the grass green? What numerical number on the pH scale do the grass represent? Why is the sky blue? What numerical number do the sky represent on the electromagnetic spectrum? See that? I know the answer, but do you? So how you gonna be balanced if you don't know these things? If you don't know that nature is color-coded, and that color code is expressed on the pH scale, it's expressed on the electromagnetic spectrum, and the correlation between the pH scale and the electromagnetic spectrum is they share the same color code. The color code of the rainbow, the color code, you got yellow, red, orange, green, blue, purple. That's the balance. That's the pH scale. And the colors represent what condition and state nature is in. For example, when the falls come and the leaves turn yellow, that on a pH scale represents acidity. But when the leaves are green, it represents alkalinity. Understanding that, you can look and see how nature is developing. Whether if this aspect of nature is, the grass is green, okay, it's healthy, it's an alkaloid. But if I go to an area where the grass is yellow, it's acidic. You gotta know this. You gotta be a real servant of the Creator by studying nature. By serving the Creator is by serving and knowing how nature is. Nature is color-coded. You got to understand what colors represent what on the pH scale and the electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum represents the vibrational frequency of everything in creation. That which we see, that which we can visibly see, is 700 to 400 nanometers. Nanometers means small wave. So if the electromagnetic spectrum is like this, what we see is right here. That's it. Everything existing outside of 700 to 400 nanometers, we don't see. We can't pick up on it. Our senses can't pick up on it. But guess what? Things exist in the unseen realm. The only reason we can't see it is because it's moving faster or it's moving slower. And we're right perfectly balanced in the grid where we can visibly see the sun, moon, stars, clouds, trees. But then if you come outside of 700 or 400, if you go outside to 800, if you go below 300, that is unseen to us. But guess who exists in that unseen realm? The spirits of the dead, the angels. What is your body? A vessel. What innates this body? Your spirit, which is an electrical signal. Your electrical signal has a vibrational frequency to it. Once this spirit leaves the body, that vibrational frequency is undetected in the 400 to 700 nanometers. We can't see it. That's why most people can't see spirits of the dead, because it's out of visible range. But you have some people who can see it, who do pick up on it, and can communicate with the spirits of the dead. You call them people crazy, wackos, spooks, put them in an insane asylum. They're not crazy. They can pick up on the spirits of the dead. So if one of your homies passed away, he right there like, nigga, I'm sitting up here looking at you, and he can't hear you. He can see you. He can hear you, but you can't see him. That's why the ancestors can't connect with you, because you're not spiritually grounded. The ancestors is knocking on your brain, trying to tell your pineal gland to wake up. I'm right here. I can tell you how to overcome the odds. But you think it's spooky. You eating that beef, that ham, that pork, calcifying your pineal gland, and the spirits and the angels and the ancestors can't communicate with you because you addicted to that flesh and blood. You're more animalistic in nature than godly in nature. See, when you become God, you got to clean that up. God don't eat flesh. For my 5%ers, God don't eat flesh and blood. Flesh and blood falls on the ascetic side. Asceticy stops at 6. 6 is the devil. 6 is impurity. God, the devil is impure. Asceticy is impure. Anything from 1 to 6 is in the impure realm, and 6 being a limitation of acid. So if you God, you got to stop eating flesh and blood, because God is 7. God represents the number 7. I'm talking to my 5%ers. God represents 7. 7 in nature represents green on a pH scale. Every time you see greenery, you see in 7. That's on the pH scale. The numerical value of green is 7. That's where God begins, and the devil can't interject. The devil can't rise above 6. He's trapped, and God suppressed that 7%. Keep that 6 suppressed. Can't rise above that 7. So for my 5%ers who claim to be God, y'all gotta let that flesh and blood go. In order to be God, you can't run that on me at this point. You ain't God if you eat flesh and blood in my book. Nah. You still man. You hasn't rose above the carnal behavior of flesh and blood or that dietary aspect. So it's a lot to know, bro. It's real out here, man. You got to become in tune with nature. You got to become in tune with creation and creator. I'm going to leave it out on that note.